Tonight, we are talking about the Unreal Engine 5 demo and why you should be hype, but also level out those expectations a little bit. We also react to the Ghost of Tsushima, the gameplay presentation revealed during the State of Play. We'll also talk about some Apex Season 5 and more. I'm Daniel Hofflich, and joining me in the party chat tonight is Steven Russell. It's time for game night.
What's up, everybody?
All right, we played the music. We're getting better with our
now.
We're getting better with the production. One day we'll figure out how to just play music without having to swipe screens and stuff. Steven,
just technical stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. That's what we're doing. Steven, what's up, man? How you doing?
I am great. It seems like the game stuff is starting to crank up a little bit.
Dude, I'm so freaking hyped, man. I've been all day. I've been kind of blah today, man. I went outside. I got burnt, so it just sucked up all of my vitamin. Dude, you see that? I'm burnt.
How dare you go outside?
I know. We're supposed to stay inside. Don't go outside. You know what I mean? But I went outside, and the sun made me pay for it. So it just sucked out all my vitamin D, and then I was just exhausted today. And I was I don't want to do anything.
Poor guy.
And then I was I guess I got to do this podcast tonight because I really want to do it. And now that we're starting it, I'm getting excited again because, dude, game news.
Feeling that tingle. Feeling
the tingle, bro. The game news is just trickling out. Actually, it's just pouring out. I'm excited. This week was pretty good for gaming news, man. We'll get to that in just a second, Steven. I want to know.
Hold on. We need to start with the most important news that was announced this week. Fortnite is going to be on Next Gen. Oh my God, guys, are you ready?
All right, cool. It will be on Next Gen, which is, that's a launch title apparently.
Was anybody surprised? Yeah, was anybody surprised when Epic said that? Come on, that cash cow of yours. Do you think you're not gonna bring it to Next Gen?
Yeah, it'll be Fortnite 2.0 or whatever they gotta do. But the most exciting thing, I don't play Fortnite, so if there's already a Fortnite 2.0, then don't correct me, I don't care. I think what the most exciting thing is, besides it being a launch title for Next Gen, is that it's going to be enhanced or upgraded to Unreal Engine 5 come next year. Not for the launch. It won't make it for launch, but then next year sometime it's going to be upgraded to Unreal Engine 5, and it's going to use the Chaos engine within Unreal 5 and all that other stuff. And it's probably gonna be really exciting. I'll probably at least download it, you know what I mean, and play it for a second, just to see what it's all about.
I don't know about that.
Just to see that the engine in work there, you know what I mean? Oh man, my video.
Well, you gotta think about it. Hellblade 2 is gonna be on Unreal Engine 5, so
is it though? I saw Phil Spencer say he said that
he said it is running on Unreal Engine 5.
Wow, that's awesome. I know that he said that it that company or Ninja Theory uses Unreal Engine. So he said
he said it's for Hellblade.
That's really cool. All right, awesome. So we can expect to see a Hellblade 2 on Unreal Engine 5. I think you know what? Since we're just talking about it, let's get right into it then. Let's get right into it. Unreal Engine 5 is the main topic tonight. Let's talk about it.
It might as well be, honestly.
Yeah, let's just go with it. It is. It's a shared topic. This with Ghost and Tsushima. But yeah, I think if Hellblade uses it, I think we're going to be a little further out with Hellblade than I imagined we were, because I thought Hellblade would be kind of a launch title-ish, maybe launch year. But Unreal Engine 5 technically doesn't fully release until mid 2021. So that'll be interesting.
It wouldn't surprise me if Hellblade wasn't I'd rather them take their time with that game because the first one was pretty phenomenal. When I played that one, it definitely was one of the most interesting gaming experiences I had in quite a while. So I'm actually pretty excited for the second one on that.
Yeah, I've been pretty excited. I just turned that off to help with my video quality. But
I was
I've
wondering
been
what
pretty
happened.
excited about Hellblade 2. The funny thing is that I really didn't really get to finish Hellblade 1, and I know you had nothing but praise for it, so I got to go back and play it.
Yeah, it definitely is a game that you would need to play with headphones on because the audio in that game is just like top notch.
Oh
And
God, yeah, yeah. In the opening
dude,
scene.
because a lot of it is audio cues, so you have to actually listen to what's going on in the environment to find out where the next piece is that you need to look for because it's not just visual, it's really audio like heavy. And I had a fantastic time playing that game, and I didn't really know what to expect when I went into it. So like the fact that Microsoft has that as an exclusive is like huge for me.
Yes, yeah. It shows what Ninja Theory really can do. I wasn't really a big fan of Bleeding Edge. Um,
Uh,
yeah, that one was kind of uh,
I think
yeah,
I think what Microsoft did with that one is they're like, "Hey, look, we want you to go out, make a game you want to make, but also make this one too." So this one is like it's probably like Ninja Theory's pet project, where
yeah,
they're like, "Hey, we want to make a game like this," and Microsoft was like, "Hell yeah, go do it. Hey, but also do this too."
yeah. Kind of like
A game
Obsidian
that
with Grounded or something.
right, yeah. So one game I did not realize that Ninja Theory made was one of my most underrated titles of all time so far, Enslaved. I
Oh,
don't know if you've ever played
yeah,
it.
yeah. I
They
didn't
made that
fully play it,
game.
but yeah.
I definitely it's a backwards compatible game. If you get the chance where it's like super cheap for whatever reason,
Yeah.
I would pick it up because it has a lot of at the time it was the closest experience for Xbox to have an Uncharted title. So it was to me it was in that
Really?
same realm as Uncharted because it was like the characters were really good. It just didn't get
The
the
attention.
praise like I feel like the attention that I think it should have.
Okay.
And I didn't I don't know if Bandai it was a Bandai Namco I guess they published it. So
Hmm.
I don't know if they own the rights to it or Ninja Theory does. But if Microsoft has that franchise in the back pocket, oh my God, dude, I'm like I'll be sitting on cloud nine if they announce something to deal with that series.
That's really interesting. I wonder if they do have the rights to it. Um,
I, I wish there was a way I could actually find out. Like I don't.
yeah. I own Enslaved. I mean, I think it was on
Oh,
like games with gold at one point. It might have been. So it's sitting in my ready to install. I know. I'm now. I'm just like I
you
gotta
would.
go. I'm gonna go install it right now remotely on my phone.
Well, after you because are you playing through Last of Us now?
Oh yeah, I'm playing through Last of Us right now. Yeah,
So
doing it again.
after Last of Us, I would try to squeeze that in there somewhere
Okay. All right. All right.
because
Sounds good.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you because Last of Us 2 is coming out, so I do want to go back and replay Last of Us.
The Last of Us. I got a story about that one. So yeah, my wife's pregnant. We're having a daughter. For people that don't know, and we are in the middle. Yeah, if you don't know, we're in the middle of quarantine. So that's
Hey, could you tell us where kids are how kids are made?
And let me just tell you everything that you already know, Steven. For anybody watching that doesn't know, let me just set the stage for you.
The stork, right? The stork brings it.
The storks bring it in, and then then the fungus grows out of them. But yeah, no, this like so we started this up, and I was like, I gotta play it before Last of Us 2 comes out. Comes out in like next month, and I'm like, I want to play it again and go through this. Not doing it on the grounded mode. I'm not trying to sit there and play this game for over and over. I play it on normal. It's fine. But yeah, so me and my wife are playing it. She's watching me, and she's pregnant, and I'm just like, oh crap. It's all starting to click. Like, oh yeah, that's right. I was expecting. I said, I know it has one of the most like crazy intros, and it's very emotional, and I know what happens, and then
Dramatic entrances.
yeah, and I know what I knew what happened, and then all of a sudden, as I'm playing it, I was like, uh oh, this is not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Just like, and then like on TV they're talking about like quarantine lifting and all this other stuff, or no, quarantine spiking, like stuff like that. And I'm like, oh wow, this all sounds very familiar to what's going on now.
Dude, this is a double whammy
Yeah,
then.
this is weird. And they're talking about it on the news, and like when she walks by the screen, it hit Joel's daughter, and I'm like, oh boy. And then the explosion goes off, and everything's starting to escalate. And Lara, and I know what's about to happen. And Lara's like, "Is this the game where this happened? This happened?" She's getting it confused with Walking Dead and all this other stuff. I'm like, "No, that's not right. No." And then yeah, and then the moment happens, and I'm like, "Oh man!" And I look over, and Lara. I was like, "Yeah, it hits harder now." Yeah.
Dude, it definitely has like it puts you in a different mind frame when you have your own kids and you play through a game like that. Because like it just gets you in the feels more than it say you're a single dude, don't have any kids or anything like that. I'm sure certain people will have like oh man, that's really sad. But like when you have your own kids and that moment happens, it's like, wow, what the
Yeah.
hell would I even do?
Right, and like I mean, it is kind of that I have both sides. I have both sides of the spectrum. Oh man, my video quality is so bad, dude. Let me turn that off,
Yeah.
turn it back on, see what happens. All right, yeah, like I had both sides of the spectrum because like 2013, I think, is when the game came out, and the original on the PS3, and I got to play it then. I didn't have any kids, and I'm just it hit me hard. I was like, oh wow, this is freaking crazy, impactful. I think I might have teared up a little bit, but then I go back and replay it a couple years later, and I'm just like, oh man. And like yesterday when I started it, and I'm like, he's talking to his daughter the way I talk to my my son. Like oh god, you stay back now. You don't move or something like that. And I'm like, oh god. So yeah, it was definitely, it hit a lot harder this time around, and I just can't wait for Last of Us 2 because I mean I'm ready for whatever they throw at me because I know they know how to write a good story. And
Well, the I don't know if it was the director, producer, whatever, but he said this is going to be an extremely divisive
yeah,
game.
see that
And you know what? I feel like sometimes that needs to be made.
I'm I'm kind of like indifferent about that divisive for this game because I don't understand how it can be divisive when this story is still being told. Unless if it like retcons the first somehow, which it's not. Unless if it goes back in time, alternate universe, and like Sephiroth changes that story, that timeline again. I don't. Unless he's doing
Let's
that. Unless
let's not go
he's
there.
just jumping all over the place, man, taking over everything.
I
I
feel
don't.
like they're talking divisive in terms of the way society is more than like the actual story of the game. Like there's probably moments in the game that some people might kind of like cringe at. I feel like that's kind of what they're going for.
I mean, I just don't get it, man, because it's Last of Us. Like Last of Us One was felt like that. You know what I mean? It felt like that to me, especially the ending, which it wasn't divisive. It just made you think, and you know, you're just like, oh my god, how would I have? What would I have done? Especially now that we have kids. So like, what would we have done? You know,
Yep.
so it's kind of cool. It like makes you think. And then as far as divisive goes, I mean, how can you? Excuse me. How could you not like where they? I don't know. I mean, trying to figure it out. Like, how could you not like what they do? Because it's Last of Us. Literally anything could happen, and it could be very cringy. Because yeah, I mean, they might even have a scene in there that they almost did in the first one. You know what I mean? with Ellie. That would be really crazy. But
But I
yeah,
really don't know
the
what,
society.
you know, what they can do. Like, I just
I'm
like,
honestly really excited about like the idea that hey, this is going to be super divisive, and this is the most like somebody told me that this is good because they read the spoilers or leaks. Do not post in the comments anything about that.
no spoilers
Yeah, no spoilers.
hereby.
Yeah, don't do it. But yeah, like when people this guy told me he's like yeah, it's going to be it's like the one of the most just he says just barbaric or just something like that. He used those words, disgusting thing I've ever seen in video games or something like that. And I'm like, yes.
Sign me up,
Yeah,
yo.
I want to be part of
Now
that.
the question is though, like those spoilers that got leaked were like, is has anybody confirmed that it's like 100% legit?
See, I try to stay away from all of that anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, but
From
like,
my understanding is that these spoilers were spoiled from early alpha from the game, so things could have changed, and so that's possible. Things could have changed from when was leaked, but the idea that like Naughty Dog came out and made an official statement like, "Hey, stay off of stuff like that," like they kind of acknowledged it, kind of makes me think that they're probably true. Like, just don't just stray away from
I don't
all of
know.
that. If they would,
I try to stay away from that stuff anyway, so
yeah, same. So yeah, I mean, just like I'm just really excited about Last of Us 2. I'm ready, man. It's
well,
gonna be awesome.
anytime Naughty Dog puts a game out, I'm excited because Sony, like that, I feel like that is their best developer.
Oh yeah.
I feel like anytime Naughty Dog even touches something, like I loved all the Uncharted's that I played. Uh, the one with the two chicks, what the hell was that? One was
The
the
Uncharted Lost Legacy. Yeah,
Yeah, that one was fantastic
that
too.
was
I
good.
love that one. Like they just do a really good job with the way they build their characters up and put them in the games.
Yeah, and like it's kind of funny. We're circling back to Unreal Engine, but during the Unreal Engine 5 demo, even though of course it looked so much better than anything we've ever seen, but I'm like,
Tech demo.
this tech demo, yeah, we got to talk about that too. So let's, all right, circling back to the Unreal Engine 5 topic. All right, so we were talking about Last of Us and Naughty Dog, and I thought it was kind of interesting because Naughty Dog has been kind of implementing some of these features that they were putting in the Unreal Engine 5. And I was like the contextual animations where she grabs the wall as she walks by. I was like, Naughty Dog's been doing that since Uncharted 3.
Yeah, when Nathan Drake's walking through a crowd and he's like
Yeah,
slapping people on the
it's like,
back
yo,
of the heads and stuff.
get out of my face, man. Come on. But all right, so Unreal Engine 5, what they showed was a tech demo, but it was running on PS5 hardware, which is really exciting. I've been watching a few Digital Foundry episodes about this, and what they made was an interesting point where they said that this is a tech demo. It's running on the hardware PS5 live, so it is happening, and you can actually get your hands on it and play it. It was made for GDC, so where people can actually come in there and play it. Excuse me. But they said that you also got to take into consideration that there was no AI like built in. Like there was no non-playable characters,
Oh, yeah.
no nothing else going on, and it was very very
Linear.
straightforward, very linear, focused experience. And I think that's definitely something that needs to be taken into consideration. And another thing that needs to be taken into consideration is that I caught at the end when Jeff Cayley asked, he said, how long did it take you to make this? And the guy said he said from September to like March, from September to March, which was that's about 6 months. And they said how many people, and he said about 2,000. And I'm like,
What? I didn't.
right, yeah. And I was like, okay. He kind of like murmured it. You're like, you know, you need a couple of, blah blah blah, 2,000 people and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, 2,000 people
What
over six
studio
months.
has that many people though?
Yeah, for right. No, this was just a tech demo. Like they gathered everybody they could to make this really impressive
Yeah.
tech demo. Very focused. And yeah, the other thing is I saw somebody on Twitter. I can't. I really need to be able to reference who said it, but said that yeah, good luck to any artist team that's going to be able to make 35 hours of this level of detail. And then Corey Barlog wrote back, and they were kind of joking about it, like saying that yeah, I mean 35 hours of that is a lot of manpower. So I think it showcased what the PS5 and next gen consoles are going to be capable of. Later on down the road, when people have had a lot of time to work on their games, I would not expect the games to look that good and play that good at launch.
Right. I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
actually wouldn't expect the games to look like that even further into the console cycle. Because, like you said, though, it's a linear gameplay. There's no AI, so you got to factor in all that other computing power that goes into running all those other scripts. So, if you got NPCs that do random stuff throughout the world,
Right.
you got to think about Foley. Like they literally made a desert, like
Yeah.
and rock formations.
Yeah.
Like there was no dense forestry. There was no real
Yeah, but
vibrancy to the world.
yeah, I mean, but it was super impressive with all the like individual rocks for sure.
Oh, dude,
Like, yeah,
the lighting on that stuff was like
and
awesome. Like
insane.
it's incredible to see that kind of like
Mm-hmm.
immersion
Immersion. I've heard it both ways.
with with the lighting and stuff. Because like lighting is something that I think people kind of take for granted in gaming, but when you notice it and you just see like the sun coming through like trees and just the way it like the world moves around a character just from a like an hour to hour standpoint, like that type of stuff is just like awesome, and it just makes the
Yeah,
game feel more like you're in that world. And that's what I feel like next gen can really bring, is making you feel like you're part of that world, and like what you do in that world matters. Like that's one thing like I've loved about Witcher 3. It's like what you do in that world matters. Like, and just the overall like character building and just the architecture of the world. Like the fact that they did that on like the regular Xbox technology
hmm
is awesome. Like they really got a lot out of that console and the PlayStation. That was even regular PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Like not
yeah,
before the that was before the Pro and then the One X. Like it's like very impressive, and like what like Project Red is going to be able to do with next gen technology.
yo, CD.
Like I'm
Oh yeah,
sure,
dude, yeah,
yeah, I'm sure Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be awesome on this generation, but add in what they can do with the next generation, it's going to take it up a whole nother level.
I think, dude, I think we're gonna see. Yeah, we'll see Cyberpunk 2077, like the optimized version of it,
Oh,
probably in
oh yeah.
July, when they're talking about all their stuff. But yeah, or maybe even June. I think we'll see that optimized version, and we're gonna be like, this is what we want to play. Even though I think that the optimized version is kind of what they've been showing us. You know what I mean? Because that game looks almost too good to be true.
Right.
I think that's high end PC running stuff. The Xbox One and PS4 version are gonna look, you know, a little.
Isn't it crazy to think like 3 or 4 years ago we were like, man, this Xbox or this PlayStation 4 looks awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're like, show me next gen,
We want
bitch.
to see next gen, right? Yeah, I want to see what it looks like on next gen. I mean, even so, you look at Last of Us 2 and you're like, I don't know, man. I feel like I could have looked at that and said, that's next gen. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it looks so good. Uh, So I mean, it's really squeezing everything out of what they can get in the life of the PS4 and the Xbox One as of right
Oh yeah.
now. And I think we're seeing the pinnacle. And I think what they showed us with this Unreal Engine 5 is kind of the pinnacle of where we're going to be. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, although I will say that you've had your like Sony and their proprietary engines that they have. They're already in the works. Like Gorilla's engine, what do they use for Horizon? I can't remember.
Honestly can't even remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah,
But
well,
I've seen things over the past week that the next Horizon, which we know is going to come out, is going to be like pushing the boundaries of next gen technology.
right.
But like I find that really hard to believe. I mean, I guess depending on when they release that game in the cycle, but I kind of feel like Sony is going to be pushing for Horizon Zero Dawn 2, whatever they call it,
Yeah.
uh, as a launch title. Like I feel like that is something they're going to be pushing hard.
I think it's a good launch title. I think it's not, it's not Spider-Man 2 or it's not like a God of War 2, but it's a really good launch title, and I think it would sell like crazy and even improve that new IP that they created. I think it would improve it like
Oh,
even
we forgot.
tenfold.
What is it? PlayStation Studios now? What is
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
first party
PlayStation
developer one?
Studios, Xbox Studios, Marvel Studios, all copying the Marvel Studio like animation that they did. But yeah, those.
So I will say that animation they released for their like
Yeah.
introductory is it looks cool, don't get me wrong, but it's about like 10 seconds too long. Like literally cut that shit down. We do not need a 17-second fucking introduction to the games we know you make already.
It's
Like cut it down. Come on.
it's a hidden load screen. Like they could say, you know what I mean? Like it's say
Think
there's no load
like
screens, but
okay,
here's
we know you make these games, dude. Like you don't have to throw it in our face. Like come on.
it's still okay though if you think about like how long it takes you to get into a game anyway. It's kind of the same way. Like you'll see this sweet animation, and then maybe you'll be right into the game. I don't know, kind of like a hidden load screen, but you get this cool little flashy intro, kind of like a Marvel Studios right before you watch their big movie. I don't know. Maybe it'll be at the beginning of a game rather than when you launch the game. So, say like as soon as you start God of War 2, you'll see like the big intro for Sony Studio or PlayStation Studios, and then like boom, Sony Santa Monica production, boom. Maybe we'll see something like that. I don't know. Rather than every time you launch the game. So it
I
would
gotta
be
say
okay.
one of the most exciting things I am looking about the next gen is developers keep talking about this the extinction of the loading screen.
Right.
Like if that happens, dude, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like you think about it, like we're playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on the Xbox 360. That took like 20 minutes to load. And then even on the Xbox One, it took another 10 minutes to load.
It's
It's
insane.
like the
Yeah.
loading times were
I honestly,
huge.
and it's weird because I know Grand Theft Auto is such an amazing game and you should be jumping in all the time, but it honestly stopped me from playing it. You know what I mean? When I look at my games list and I'm like, all right, I want to jump into a game tonight. I look at Grand Theft Auto and I'm like, no, I know I won't be actually playing Grand Theft Auto for another 15 minutes, maybe 20. By the time this game loads in, and then I'm finally in the action, and then I'm like, all right, I'm kind of out of it. I don't know. You know what I mean? So like, you can imagine looking at your games list and just saying, boom, I want to play
Boom.
that, and then like you're playing it. You know what I
Boom.
mean? I think that's going to be
Yeah.
that right there is like the next gen difference to me. Like and that's to your point too. Like that's when we're gonna say, oh my god, this is next gen because it's the
I think
experience of playing it and the immersion of
yeah.
playing it. I don't think
And get you
graphics
into
are
it
going to be
fast.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think graphics are going to
Like don't
really
get me
be
wrong.
yeah.
I love graphics.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because it's such a visual feast for the eyes, but like there's like more that's coming in with next gen than just graphics. Like the load screen cut downs, if there is any. Certain games I'm sure cannot have any.
Hmm.
Uh, the other one I'm thinking about is immersion of games. Like I'm excited for feeling in the game and just the overall environments of these games that they're going to bring to us. That's that's what I want next gen to feel. Like I know uh, a lot of the high end PC guys that have those super expensive rigs have kind of already been in this realm as to where us like I'm more of a console player just because I don't feel like building a PC.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. I just don't have enough time in my life to focus on playing my Xbox or my PC. Like I
Hmm.
just want one or my PS4. Like
I want it to work right away. Don't want to worry. Yeah. Yeah.
and just play it. Like I don't want to have to like update Windows. I don't want to have to update Steam. I don't want to have to update Epic Game Store. Like
Yeah. I think.
there's that PC master race, but there also is a lot more that goes on with a PC. Don't get me wrong. I used to be a big PC gamer,
Mhm.
like for real, but just the simplicity of a console is what I like about a console. I like just sitting on my couch, grabbing a controller, boom, playing games.
Yeah.
Like
And that's, yeah, it's kind of like you're getting all of that into this nice, tidy, neat package. And it's like, here's the
yeah,
Xbox Series X, PS5. It's basically a supercomputer or power, whatever, powerhouse computer, like boom, in a box, contained in a box. And as soon as you press the power button, you're gonna get to where you want to be. You don't have to worry about it crashing. Hopefully, you know what I mean. Like other programs that are running in the background and all this
yep.
other stuff. Your dedicated gaming console, and that's what I want too. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I tried PC gaming for a little while. I personally didn't like it. I mean, I don't know.
I was huge. I was huge in the World of Warcraft for quite a while,
Yeah.
and that is a huge life consumer right there. Because I was like a raider. I did all the raidings where you would get like 40 people together in a raid. Like, I just don't have time for that stuff anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I have, depending on what's going on in my day, I have like maybe 2 hours to like sit down and play some games.
Yeah.
And I just want to be able to boop, hit the console and boom. Don't get me wrong, PC gaming's fantastic. It's amazing if you can sink the money into it and the like,
Yeah.
but just I like the simplicity of a console, and that's why I kind of gear myself more towards the consoles now.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just like, just give me a console. Like, let me play that shit.
I mean, that makes sense to me, and that's why I'm really excited. And like you said, you don't have the time to be just sitting around waiting for load screens. So I think that's what's really
Load
cool.
screens. We're talking about load screens.
Load screens. You want a load screen? Yeah, I don't
Like
think we'll see them.
I'm genuinely excited to see what Sony can do. Like
Hmm.
I just feel like they're really putting a lot of backing into this solid state drive that they're coming out with.
Yeah.
That I think they're just trying to kind of compensate for having a little bit having a I don't know exactly how much less power that it has in the Series X.
Hmm.
I'm not that much of a tech guy, but just looking at it on paper, the numbers are higher on the Series X for certain areas.
Right.
So I feel like they're just trying to tout this hard drive more than it's really being built up. Like
Yeah.
if like watching the interview with Epic Games, like they're just talking about how about the hard drive. It's like did Sony literally just sit there and like pay you guys to
Let,
just literally
let's talk
hype
about
up the
how
hard
much.
drive? Like
Yeah, how much money did Sony pay Unreal? Let's talk
like
about the real deal here. Yeah.
I really don't feel like this hard drive is that big of a fucking deal. Like
Hmm.
come on, like be honest.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I think the SSD is really important, and yeah, it is a big deal. But I think also to your point that I think yeah maybe they're just kind of focusing on like hey look at this, look at
Yeah.
this. This is the one like one of the areas, one of the few that they succeed, and I think their numbers are a little bit higher than Xbox. I could be wrong. I think I read the numbers on the SSD is a little bit faster on the
I
PS5.
want to say you're right. I
Yeah.
think in terms of like the RPMs and all that type of stuff, where how fast the drive spins or the way it spins
Yeah.
is better.
So they're
But
like,
if you think about it too, like like that Xbox has like expandable storage. Who's to say like 2 years down the road that Microsoft and Seagate don't come together and have like a hard drive that's on the same level?
They have the external thing that literally uses the same
Yeah.
exact SSD, and they could be like, hey, you can buy an external SSD that's faster, and you can put all the games that you want to load like at 5% faster. Put all the games you want to do, put it on this external one so they can load 5% faster. I don't know. That's all the tech stuff that I don't really understand. I only know what Digital Foundry told me. You know what I mean? Like this is
Like
really I get a lot of my information from Digital
I'm
Foundry.
I'm about on the same level. Like some
Yeah.
of these like numbers, I'm just like I don't even know what the hell that is. Like
Yeah.
just let me play games. Like I don't really care.
I
Like
mean
stop
I'm
shoving this hard drive down my throat. Like just let me see the games on the console. Like I personally don't give a shit what the console looks like. It could be like a turd, and if it plays
yeah,
my
yeah.
games, I don't really care. Like
Honestly
the
a
fact
turd
that
would be
people
a
are
really
like,
cool
"Oh,
design. I like a turd design,
if my
yeah.
console looked like shit, cool, that's
Let's
fine with
go.
me.
Let's go.
Just we'll just plop it right on my freaking by my TV. Just plop it. Like,
Dude, I mean, it would remind me of those early thousands consoles, man. You can imagine the sweet edges on that little doo doo. It's just like that'd be great. Little disk drive right in the middle of it. It'd be cool. Yeah, I mean,
the lid lifts up and you just pop the disc in.
just
People that like if they're saying like, "Oh, I'm not gonna buy that console because it looks like a pile of shit." Like the thing is, like it plays games. Who cares?
yeah,
Like
no,
once you load the game up, are you sitting there? Man, that's an ugly ass console. I can't play games on this. Like,
yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
way it looks and
I
stuff.
kind of get
Console.
it from the aesthetic standpoint a little bit, but like, I don't really care what the console looks like. I think the Series X kind of like the way they design theirs is for heat. Like it's meant to like disperse the heat a lot better with the shape. Cool. Like as long as you're designing it for function, that's probably the most important part. I'd rather have a console designed around a certain function than just to look good. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
functionality, efficiency, these are the things that matter. Like, and making sure the console's not going to overheat and explode. Things that matter, man. And that's why the SSX, I'm already calling it the XSX. I'm
Oh,
already there. You know what I mean?
is it a bit tricky?
It's a,
Tricky.
yeah, it sounds,
Tricky.
SSX sounds better than the XSX. Because you can never have too much.
That sounds like a website we shouldn't be talking about on the show. Let's go to the
There's no
XSX
such thing
website
as
today.
XSX. It's kind of where it
I
goes.
will say, like, the name is a little bit silly. I'm not sure where they came. Like, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I
I
know what they're
guess
doing.
I don't know.
I get what they're doing.
I mean,
The
I
game,
will
the name
say,
of the
like,
console is Xbox.
from a serious standpoint, or from a naming standpoint, Sony just keeps it simple. Like,
Oh
PlayStation 1, 2,
yeah,
3, 4, 5.
yeah.
Like, okay, cool, that's fine.
We know where we're going. Yeah.
But I guess Microsoft's just trying to do a little bit more with the name in terms
I
of
think
how they
it's
name it.
I think it's smart. I think I know what they're doing. Their branding is Xbox, so you don't have to. You know, it's just this is the Xbox. And then when you go into the store, I think later on down the line, you're going to be able to say, okay, I want an Xbox. Well, we have a Series X, we have a Series S, we have a Series A, B, whatever you want. And then like you can just be like, these are your Xbox choices. But you still have the brand Xbox, and like they're putting Xbox on everything. You know, Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass on PC. It's not even you know what I
Right, yeah.
mean. So the branding is good. I like the branding. I know where they're going with it, and Series X is good in my opinion. I'm cool with the name. It's just weird when you say it all together, like Xbox Series X. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it
You
just
gotta have
was
a
Xbox
pause.
One X. You know what I mean? Like, and you're just like
Xbox Xbox
Yeah,
Series X.
Series
I will
X.
say from a hardware standpoint, I prefer Microsoft over Sony just from a hardware standpoint. I have the Xbox One X and I have the PlayStation Pro pretty much right next to each other.
Same.
And just the overall design of the Xbox is so much better in terms of how it's put together.
Okay.
There's things about the PlayStation 4 in terms of the Pro, in terms of the form factor.
Yeah.
Like the power button is absolute shit.
On the
Like it is this
PS5 or
little
PS4?
on the PS4
Yeah.
Pro, it is this little ass flimsy bar,
Yeah.
and it's so hard to find. Like, give me a big ass button. Let me hit the button.
It feels
Like
cheap.
it
Yeah.
does. Like
Yeah.
I honestly feel like if I do that, press that button too many times, it's gonna break.
Yeah.
So
Like if
I
you
mean,
bend it one way or the other, it snaps.
right.
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, most people. Granted, most people use the controller to turn everything on,
Right.
but there's some times where you got to hit the thing on there, and like
Hmm?
they don't make it. Like I remember when I first got it, I couldn't find it at first. Like I didn't know how to turn my PlayStation Pro
Oh,
on because
because you didn't know
I was like,
which
okay,
line it
I'm
was.
like, where is the goddamn button for the power? Like, I mean, I kind of get it that they're trying to make it like flow with the console, but
Yeah.
like they could have done a much better design for the Pro, I think. Just that's just
All
me
right.
personally. Just from a hardware standpoint, like little functionality features like that kind of go more of a way go go a further way with me than how a console looks.
See, you're I guess from what I'm gathering is like you like the more like sleek and like here's the this thing you put it on display and it looks like it goes right with your entertainment consoles and it looks nice. For me personally, I'm a little more nostalgic. I like the wacky designs, man. I like the N64 where it was like, it looks like a spaceship type thing. I think that's awesome. Like the GameCube. What? That's tight. It had like the little ports on the front.
And it had a handle.
It had a
It had a
handle?
handle.
A lunchbox
For
handle?
what?
I
Who
don't.
the fuck is carrying their GameCube
You
around?
didn't
Like,
do that? You didn't do
no,
it?
I didn't.
Oh my god, I would
No.
take it over to my friends to play like Smash Bros or Mario Kart Double Dash. You just take it with you, man. Let's go. It's like a lunchbox. And then you just bring it on with you. I loved it. And then, I like those nostalgic things. I like the PlayStation 1, it looked really cool. I like the designs and more the curvy. I like the curves of a console.
Well, the first PlayStation 1 was square as can be, but when they
yeah.
started redesigning it, that's when they curved it out
I
a
mean,
little bit more.
they still had the little disk drive pop up stuff like that. It looked cool,
I
and
kind
on the
of miss those
sides.
days.
Whereas like the
I
fancy
kind of
looking
miss those
console
days
of
where you
what,
just press the button and the lid
and the
pops
lid
up and
popped up.
just pop the fucking game in. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm more digital now, so if a console had no disk drive, I kind of wouldn't really care.
yeah,
But like the date like that where it just sucks the thing right out of your hand. Like that has more chance of going bad than a tray that pops up and you just pop the disc in. Like
yeah. I
in the
agree.
Nintendo GameCube with the little baby discs that were like
Little
this big.
what? So cool. I love. See, like for me, when I look at a console, I want it to look fun. I want it to look like how much fun I'm going to have playing it. Whereas when I look at the series or the One X, don't get me wrong, it's a very beautiful console. Like it's sleek, it's nice, it's weighty. It feels like I would never, but I could feel like I could throw it on the ground and it would be fine. It'd probably break my ground. Like you know what I mean? Like it feels nice, but I'm a little I'm a little different than you. I actually like the PS4, the Pro, because it looks fun. It looks different. It looks like I like the stack. I
I'm
like
gonna look
the
at it right now.
offset. Huh?
I just think I'm looking at it right now. I'm just like,
Oh, you know, like
I mean, it looks like from this. I mean, it looks okay. I'm just thinking
yeah.
from a functionality standpoint is
Functionality,
how like
it
I'm looking at it.
sucks, right? Like the functionality is
Right.
bad. I hate it. Like the functionality wise. So the look of it, they nailed it. I love the look of the PlayStation 4. I always have since even the first one that came out. I love the PS4 design over Xbox this entire generation. The look of it, but the functionality is where where it gets a problem because the power button is flimsy, like you talked about. The other things you talked about, but there's one issue with the PS4 Pro. Two issues. One, functionality wise, is that the freaking like if you have your PlayStation vertical, or even probably laying down, I don't know. But if you're trying to get to the HDMI port, it is nearly impossible to do it without having to turn the console around to see where the heck that thing is. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is
Because the way it like leans back,
yeah,
like the back,
it's all hidden, and
yeah.
you're just like, where's the freaking? And like, I have to do that because of the PS4, the VR. Uh, the one that I have is the first model, so it doesn't have HDR pass through. So in order to get the HDR, I have to unplug it from the VR box and plug it into the console. So I'm
That
constantly
sounds
like,
like more work than it's worth.
yeah, the VR is
You're
fun.
like getting a workout just hooking up
I
the
know,
fucking
it's like,
VR.
come on. And it gets on my nerves, man. And then the other thing is I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy remake because I'm doing it on hard mode. But freaking sounds like a jet or a turbine, just and you're just like, and it's louder than my TV volume. I have to turn up my TV volume in order to compensate for this freaking jet engine.
I've seen a lot of complaint. I mean, like just from some of the game groups I'm in.
Yeah.
That seems to kind of be the standard. I will say though, certain games make my Xbox pretty loud too, but it's not on the same level as my
It's
Pro.
never no, it's never on that level, dude. Like especially because Final Fantasy VII's a very like computing intensive game. Like it's a lot going on, and man, it just sounds like oh my god, it sounds so bad.
So I just kind of came up with an idea for not this podcast, okay?
Okay,
Uh, rank your top 5 console designs.
that would be so cool, dude. I would love that. Yes.
Dude, I literally just thought about it. Like, I think that's a good. Now, we gotta kind of limit it to not like the offshoot ones. It has to be like the main release
Okay,
ones.
so you can't do like in television
Like, cause,
or do you think that
cause
would be?
no, I'm talking about like
You mean oh
remember the
you
original
okay?
Xbox, right?
Yeah.
They made like a green version. No, I want like the original version that was released, even
Okay.
though
So no
like
special editions?
the first editions, right? First editions, no
Okay.
special editions.
Okay, that's fair. I think maybe
I think that could be pretty cool.
what if we did like we could do first editions, rank those, and then rank your special editions because there are some really cool special editions. I mean, I like
Oh yeah,
the
and
to name one is I love the 360 redesign where they had like that like sharp edge type thing. Do you know what I'm talking about on the 360? I think it was the Xbox
yeah.
360S. I think it was. Yeah, I love that. That might be up there, but in terms of functionality,
So
we're just looking at looks, right? Or are we
I think
talking?
that's cool. Right? Yeah. For this one, it would be just look.
Because the
I literally
functionality on
just
that
thought
thing.
about that.
All right, cool, man. All right,
Just,
that'd be cool.
just look. That's. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah. All right, that's a good idea. I like that idea. So we'll do that one for maybe next week or something. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna start our
Hell
top
yeah, bro.
five like side series. That'd be cool. All right. Let's see, man. So next gen,
Apex Season 5?
Apex. Let's see. I think we've.
Do we want to move
put a
to
cap.
Apex?
Yeah.
I mean, we have spent quite a bit of time on just next gen consoles.
Yeah, we'll put a cap on it for now. We have so much time until the next gen. I mean, we're going to be talking about this every week, I'm sure.
Well, you got to think about it too. The Sony event in June is starting to creep up, so that's going to be the next kind of big one.
It's coming up soon, man. It's like
And
2 weeks.
I feel like at this point though, Sony has to show this console. Like they've been
Definitely.
holding out, keeping things so tight-lipped at this point.
They will.
Like this has to be like their big boom. Welcome to
Yeah.
PlayStation 5.
I mean, remember what I was telling you about with the buckets, man. I'm get ready for Sony to just take their bucket of water and just. It's gonna happen, dude. I think June we're gonna see console, we're gonna see release date, we're gonna see price, we're gonna see pre-orders, we're gonna see games. It's gonna be insane. Yeah.
That's why I think Xbox kind of played it smart by, I mean, not the way they did this first inside Xbox, but the fact that they're coming out with one in July. I feel like that's a good move because it lets Sony's come out, do their thing,
Yeah.
and then after that, Microsoft has come out with their first party games. And I really think that Microsoft is going to surprise a lot of people with the first party games they're going to have coming out on Series X.
You think?
That's the way I'm feeling.
Yeah, Halo Infinite was just confirmed for the July event, which I think we all knew that was coming. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, it's a launch title. Of course, it's going to be there. And they haven't said anything about if it's going to have gameplay, but it will. It will.
I kind of feel like they have to.
It will. It's going to, man. July event for Xbox is when they're going to just really unleash. Uh, so that's going to be exciting.
Unleash the first parties.
Unleash the first party. Yeah, yeah.
Because if you think about it, that was like that was Sony's like leading factor with this console generation is their first party games. If
Oh
you
yeah.
think like if you just look at the majority of the reasons people have a PlayStation, first party games.
Yeah.
Microsoft was severely lacking this generation. That's why I bought a PlayStation is for the first party games.
Yep.
Like there's no denying it. Like even though Sony kind of corners the market with first party games that are third person like action adventure type games,
Yeah,
they're
it's all
still
very focused. Yeah.
fun. They're fun games to play. Like
Hmm.
there's you can't say they're not.
Right. True. I mean, it's very true. A lot of other games are third-person action games. It's a little redundant at this point, but they're all
Yeah.
great. They're all,
Yeah,
excuse
that's
me,
the problem.
borderline
It's like
masterpieces.
shit. That
Right.
Last of Us game is good. That Uncharted game is good. God of War is good. Ghost
Masterpieces.
of
You know what I mean? Like they're
Ghost of what do you say? Ghost of Tsushima? That's
Ghost of Tsushima.
that looks
Yes.
like it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Let's do
Even
all the
though
Ghost
it
of Tsushima.
doesn't. It,
Let's do
do you
it.
want to do that one?
Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do it. Because we'll kind of like we'll segue from Sony to Tsushima. You know. Go ahead. Yeah. They all
Whoa.
look amazing.
Do you feel that? It's a bit windy in here, huh?
Where's your windbreaker, dude? I thought you were gonna wear your windbreaker.
Blow me away, Ghost.
I thought you were gonna wear your
This is
windbreaker, man.
Steven reporting. This is Steven reporting from Futile, Japan.
I think
it's really windy out here today.
I think for like an ongoing series, every time we record, I think you just need to just as soon as the show starts, be wearing your windbreaker and a fan, just like blow. And we're going to the Steven for the weather. How's it going? It's windy. And then that's it.
It's windy and there's a lot of foliage falling here, boys. I feel like that game is the leading candidate for windiness in a
Windy,
game ever.
yeah. It's an art choice. It's an art choice, an art direction. I like it. I think it's cool, but it is very windy.
I think it's kind of silly.
gets-
It's not always that windy.
And then like I thought I just busted
Like,
out
I
laughing when they said, "Let the wind guide you." I was like, "Oh, there's Steven. Steven loves it." Let the wind guide you. It's literally a gameplay
It's
aspect.
like it's literally blowing me everywhere anyway, so where the fuck am I supposed to go?
It's literally part of the game now. It's like you have to let the wind guide you to your destination. So as far as let's break it down the way they did exploration. What did you think of the exploration part of their presentation?
I personally think the game is going to be solid. From just like watching that state of play, it doesn't look like it's going to reinvent anything gaming wise. It looks like it's taking several like ideas from other games and kind of just putting them into this. Which I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But the way this game was kind of touted is like
This is
it's a
PlayStation's
huge
big.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. This is PlayStation. Like I was
Swan
expecting
song,
maybe
almost.
a little bit more innovation with the game. But from what they showed, it looks like it's going to be a fun game to play. Like it looks like it's going to be a solid game to
Definitely.
add to Sony's already solid lineup of first-party titles.
So as
the
far
one
as
thing I'm
exploration,
kind of wondering.
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I think this has to be a key factor in the transition from 4 to 5. Are they going to do the same thing Microsoft is doing with upgraded titles that you buy on PlayStation
That's
4
gonna be a big deal.
and
Yeah.
on PlayStation 5? If you're buying Ghost of Tsushima Nama,
Tsushima.
it's going to be a PlayStation 5 version that doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That
good.
has to be something that Sony's pushing. Like, if they don't push this, it's gonna be a bad look.
That's a
Because
big that's a big thing.
if you have to buy two of them, that's pretty shitty. Because Microsoft is literally all their first party games. You can get the Series X version included. So
Yeah, I mean, I think Tsushima already looks amazing on the PS4. I mean,
oh, it can definitely look better.
it looked like at times
It
it
can
looked
look
like
better.
yeah. At times it looked amazing. At times I was like, okay, this just
Oh
looks
yeah.
like Syndicate or you know what I mean, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You know what I mean? Like it is like great graphics, but it also didn't look like at times it didn't. At times it did look amazing. And I think with if it's optimized for PS5 and it's a seamless thing, and they have something similar to Smart Delivery where you can upgrade these games, I really hope that's a thing because especially with I have a bunch of other games, so we'll stick on Tsushima. I want a lot of games to be able to do this. But yeah, like
I feel like all first party games should be able to do it.
definitely, man, and it would be a bad look if it doesn't. So yeah. With that aside, we'll talk about what they showed at the presentation. As far as exploration goes, I think it looked it borrowed. Like we're going to talk about how it borrowed a lot from other games, right? I mean, that's what you just said. I think
Yeah.
it borrowed from Breath of the Wild, and Red Dead. I guess you could say Red Dead, just because of the horseback riding and the big, just massive open world that you're going to be riding
I
on
wonder
a horse.
I wonder how big that open world really is though, like
Mm-hmm.
on a scale compared to other games. Like how big is the world of this game? Like
When he was
we don't
standing
really know.
when he was standing on that cliff, literally reminiscent of the Breath of the Wild cover. He's standing there like it just like looking out at the big open world. It looked pretty massive, man. And there was a lot of environments that they showed that I just feel like there's even more to it than what we were seeing when he was standing at the cliff. And I
Oh yeah.
think they can probably pull it off because so we're sticking with exploration. For me, the game looked beautiful and the environments are beautiful, but somehow it still managed to look super empty to me. That's just me. Then again, you loved Red Dead 2, and I did not like it. It wasn't my thing. And I think one of the big reasons for that was, like, how long am I going to be riding this horse until I get to the next fun thing to do? Even though the game looks beautiful, like Red Dead looked one of the best games of this generation, and then Tsushima looks beautiful, but I mean, I just want to get to the fun.
What's going to be in that world, right?
You're right.
Like that's the kind of downside to like these massive open world games is sure you got a shit ton of real estate to cover, but what is in those worlds that makes you want to like keep going? And I honestly I just love the shit out of Red Dead. I
Yeah.
like like you said, like there was moments of like, man, I'm on this horse forever, but then the moments where like it just takes kind of just like takes you back like how the hell did Rockstar do this graphically? Like
Hmm.
these worlds look phenomenal. This world looks phenomenal, but I mean the game looks great. I really want to see how well the combat functions. I think that's going to be a key factor
Yeah.
because I mean you kind of get a little bit of a feel with the way they showed it.
Well, like,
Like me and you were talking about the dude should have been cut in half at one point. 'Cause,
yes.
like,
Okay.
come on.
So I'm going to backpedal real quick to the exploration because I said that the big open world thing, and I want to just make sure I clarify because like big open worlds are not always bad because you feel like you live in this world. Because in the same vein, I will say that I want Part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake to literally be a massive continent. So I think it's just kind of like, hey, are you into samurais? And are you into these kind of like the feudal Japan and stuff like that? Because if you are, you're going to love this massive open world that they have for you. Just like for me, I would love to explore an entire continent of Final Fantasy VII just because I want to be in the world of Gaia. You know what I mean? So like if you want to be in the world of feudal Japan, you're going to love just riding your horse through the windy grass. You're going to love it. You know what I mean? So I think,
Windy.
yeah. So that's just a personal opinion of mine. I don't know if it's a negative thing to say that it just looks like it's empty, because it could to somebody else look like, oh my god, this doesn't look empty. This looks beautiful in all directions. You know what I mean?
Did you see that statue over there?
Did you the shrine? I mean, come on. Are you borrowing everything from Breath of the Wild? The shrines? What is going on? I was really
So,
expecting him to go down into a puzzle dungeon, like when he got to the shrine. But
so
so
as far
moving
as
on to
the
combat.
exploration part of it
Oh, okay.
too,
Yeah, yeah,
they're not doing waypoints in this game,
yeah,
which I kind of feel like they should have given the players the option to do it or not. Like,
yeah,
I get they want to kind of like put you in this world and like there be no distractions or whatever. But I feel like certain players do better with waypoints. Like
okay,
sometimes I like the waypoints in a game, uh, but I kind of get what they're doing. But I feel like they kind of give should have given the players the option if they wanted waypoints, because some
it's
people
fair.
aren't like navigationally gifted. They
Right,
get
yeah,
lost easily just because they're directionally challenged or whatever. Uh, So I feel like that could be off-putting to some players. I'm not going to say it's the majority of players, but I feel like there's some players that might get in this world and be like, "So where's the wind telling me I need to go?
yeah.
I don't fucking know."
Granted, I think you can just like pick up some leaves and throw it at any time. Maybe, I don't know, and like you'll just like, oh, I gotta go this way. But yeah, I agree. They should have done
Wind will
something.
push you the way you need to
Yeah,
go.
just stand still and let the. I think yeah, they should have given you the option, kind of like Breath of the Wild. I keep referring to it, but this is exploration is really reminiscent of Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, I think they released an update, or it was actually part of the game where you could just turn off the map and the wayfinders altogether and literally be immersed into the world. And it seems like what Tsushima's trying to do. It's trying to be in the middle ground. Like, hey, you can be in this world without having like HUD like everywhere, like maps and crap like that. But if you get lost, you just throw some leaves in the air and let it take you to where you want to go. I don't know. I think
If you
that
think
might be
about it,
something to get your hands on.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey gave you two separate game modes when you first fired it up. There was the one where you could have it where it tells you where quests are, and then there was the other one where it's like you have to discover where to find these places. Like it was two separate game modes, and you get the option to choose which one you want when
Wow.
you start a the game.
Yeah.
Like I that if I that game is so massive, if I did the one where I have to find out where the hell to go, I wouldn't have finished the game ever. Like I would have been running around in circles in the Mediterranean Sea or some shit. Like
It's true.
like
Yeah.
like a game that is that big, I need some kind of at least some direction. Like I don't want to have to go to talk to 30 people to say, "Oh, Wiley's over at the village over on the corner of Greece and shit. Like he's over there." Like,
It's over there. You know
oh,
where that's at, right? You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about, right? The big statue.
he's over in the fishing village by the ladies.
You know the fishing village,
No.
right? You've been there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, okay, that's true. So, well, I think that might be something we can got to get hands on and play and just see like, okay, they pulled it off, or they could have used some wayfinding. So, exploration definitely gave me yeah, check on that one. Breath of the Wild, the horseback riding, I have to say, looked like they literally stole the mechanics from Shadow of the Colossus. It looked a lot like the remaster of the Shadow, like literally like the camera angle and then like the environment. It looked like Shadow of the Colossus set in feudal Japan. But beautiful, beautiful game, big, massive open world, interesting wayfinding, kind of makes you want to explore it, but I'm also on the verge of like saying, I don't know. It looks like it's big and empty, but beautiful. So we go to combat. So the combat of the game, there was two different modes you could, or not two different modes, but I guess two different ways you attack, like um, strongholds. Using Assassin's Creed, I think they're called strongholds, but like so there's two different ways you can
Assassin's
attack
Creed,
it.
Far Cry.
Yeah, right. Yes. It's a so you could go in there as the samurai, and you got these like what we were talking about. You touched on. You touched on, man. At first, I was like, I just texted you right away, and I was like, dude, I'm loving these one-hit kills. These are amazing. It's like very samurai-esque. You know what I mean? Like just one-shot kills or one-slash kills. And then there was one. Then there was a couple where I was like, oh crap, they lost me a little bit. Like he slices one, and they just kind of fall back. And I was like, okay, it's a game. They gamified it. I was like, I liked the one-slash kills, man. I was all on board until he got slashed and he kind of like stepped back and then he was right back into the fight. I'm like, I would have liked to see like he got slashed, he didn't die. Maybe he fell down and he's like, get back up and just start swinging like he's hurt, because it looks like they were really trying to go for that realism. But the one slash.
If you think about it, samurais are freaking badass, man. Like they literally know how to like
Kill.
combat and just freaking cut a dude in half, like because those swords are so goddamn sharp.
No dismemberment, man. Where was the dismemberment? I wanted to see more of that. Like I wanted to see he got sliced in the throat. I would let the head come off, or at least just like let's go. This is rated M. They're not trying to be rated teen. Let's go. And then like the slice an arm off or something. I would have been cool with that, but there was no dismemberment, and that was kind of disappointing. So
that was along the same lines of disappointment when you couldn't do it in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh like, yeah.
Come on.
But that was honestly, the combat of this game is kind of what I want to see in Fallen Order. Like where it's just kind of like, dude, done. You know what I mean? I have a lightsaber. I have a sword. I want to just be able to slice through something. You know what I mean? If you want to make it gamified, throw more enemies at me that I have to parry or something. Just give me those one-hit kills. I don't want to just like whack somebody
give me a guy with like armor or some shit like that.
Yeah. Or like if you like go like that, maybe your sword gets stuck or something. That'd be tight. But that's just us, dreaming. but as far as Ghost of Tsushima,
maybe next gen.
Maybe next gen.
It's in for next gen.
We'll stick to Tsushima real quick.
I feel like there was dismemberment in Tenchu when that game came out.
Yeah?
Like, I feel like you could cut a dude's head off or an arm or something. Like, I honestly kind of remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this gives me the Tenchu vibes. Not, I guess you could kind of say because it's like a samurai game. Mm-hmm. But Tenchu, you were more of a ninja. But you could do the stealth mode. You could do the balls to the wall, go in there, cut stuff up.
Okay.
I don't know. It just takes a lot from other games. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing if it takes the good stuff from other games that make the other games fun. If they implement it properly, I don't think this is going to be a bad game by any means, but I think it's going to be kind of like a cookie cutter game where there's nothing that really kind of sets it apart from other ones, besides the fact that it's a samurai game and there isn't many of those out.
That's fair. That's fair. I made the assumption, or not the assumption, but like I was just like, this is Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like it almost felt, at least the ghost mode when he was going in as the dishonorable ghost, it was definitely like, this is Assassin's Creed, and it felt like more like Assassin's Creed. I don't know, Syndicate before Origins, like that kind of combat. And I'm like, this feels. He's doing the parkour up top. You can jump down, chain your executions or whatever. And I'm like, all right, so this, and don't get me wrong, that's amazing because I love Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So
me too. I did as well.
Yeah, so like that's fine with me. I love the combat of that, and then it's cool that you can have that almost Dark Souls-ish, where when you play as a samurai, you have that almost Dark Souls-ish type gameplay where you're just like really timing the attacks. Everything has to be precise. Like everything has to be precise. And then when you go in as the ghost, you can have this freedom of just like going around and stealth killing everybody and inducing fear, and it sounds fun. I like the combat. It just depends on, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just taking the strongholds and this massive open world, it's just I think this game would have served better as a more linear experience, I think.
I'm just kind of wondering like how the story's gonna be.
Hmm.
I can't remember much about the story. I think they've only kind of drizzled in bits and pieces of the story.
Yeah, they've talked about it a little bit. Yeah, they talked about it a little bit, and I think it's kind of in the
Is it like
same
a
boat.
revenge type story?
I don't want to say anything because I'm not like 100% sure on anything. I would just be kind of
I feel like it is.
speaking from memory.
It probably
It's
is.
a samurai story, right? It's got to be revenge. It's got to be revenge and honor, right?
Right.
So yeah, it looked the combat looked fun. I liked the combat of what they showed me. I wish there was dismemberment, and I think that's my only issue with it. And then what else did they talk about? It was combat or exploration and combat, and then there was a third thing. I can't remember, but,
I
but
can't remember.
yeah.
I
So
mean, we kind of just went over the gist of the
yeah, we
game.
basically went over everything they showed. So I mean, all in all, man, I like it. I think it's gonna be fun. Like you said, it might not be the swan song. I think Last of Us Two is gonna be the swan song for the PS4. But this
Yeah.
is a
I
cool
think this
like.
is a good like it's like a good cap on PlayStation 4 exclusive games.
It's like when you're watching a Game of Thrones season, and the penultimate episode is the episode before the final episode. So you have
Yeah,
Last
because
of
Last of
Us.
Us is coming out right before.
Yeah, that'll be the penultimate episode, and then you'll have the finale with just to suffice, or tide you over. So
Yeah.
yeah, moving on from Ghost of Tsushima, we can go to Apex Season 5. What's up, Steven? How do you like the Apex Season 5 so far, man?
I'm digging it, honestly. I of course prefer Apex over most of the battle royale games.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know. I like the characters they put in the game. I like the flow of the combat. I like the way the game controls. With season 5, it definitely looks like they've made the game look crisper. Like I don't know, just something about the overall graphics and the resolution and all that stuff. It looks better to me. Uh, Loba, I don't think she's an overpowered character by any means, like a lot of people think she is. She's a really good addition to the characters that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like her abilities are solid. Uh, they don't kind of like make her the best character in the game to play, but I think with a good cast, she is a very good support one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she wins the game by herself by any means, just because of the way they like if you could like literally loot everything out of her black market, sure. But the fact that you can
She only
loot two
two.
items out of it, I think that's a good limit. So you can't just sit there and pick every single thing that's purple in the area. Um, looks like some of the battle pass stuff is actually pretty neat. The biggest change for me in terms of adjustment to season 5 is the death boxes when you loot them.
Mm-hmm.
I there's been several times where I've screwed up and looted the wrong shit. I'm like, oh fuck, gotta go back and get that out
Yeah.
of there.
Oh man,
Uh,
I have a story about
but
that.
I like what they did with Kings Canyon. Because I got tired of landing in Skulltown every time I was with a goddamn random group.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like the stuff they added to it, and then the quest they are doing, I'm definitely intrigued as to what else they're gonna do with it, how it's gonna progress as the weeks go on. But like, I like what they did. I feel like Respawn is really good at listening to fan feedback and then kind of balancing out the characters because there's nothing worse than a developer that like doesn't at least take some fan feedback in. Mirage buff was a much needed buff
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
before, how many games would you go into with like random people where nobody would pick Mirage? Like literally nobody was picking Mirage.
No, he needed a lot of help.
He was right, and I feel like while he is really good, I don't think he's overpowered to that point where he's like the best character in the game. So I kind of feel like they've balanced the characters out. There are a couple characters that do need to be better, and I think Respawn's kind of in the works on doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like I like the direction of the game.
I agree, man. I think you basically touched on all the points that I have, all the pros and cons. As to touch on your Mirage statement, where you don't think he's like overpowered, I think that's yet to be seen.
He's very powerful.
Yeah, that might be yet to be seen. He might need a little bit of a buff, or I mean a nerf. I don't know. I don't know what they would do, but he definitely has this way about him. Like Robert. Robert will you get Mirage, and he hasn't stopped playing as Mirage since. And his numbers, his kills, and his they've gone up, dude, a lot. And I'm like, this guy. Either Robert got like super insanely good at the game. I mean, he's already really good at the game.
No, we can't say that.
He was already really good, but
yeah, Robert sucks.
That's what you get for not joining the podcast, Rob. We can talk about you all we want.
Yep.
No, he was already really good at the game, but man, his numbers just skyrocketed after switching to this Mirage in Season 5. So, might be connected. He might just be on fire. Who knows? I like you said with Loba, I think she's very balanced. She's not game-breaking. I will say that her seeing through the walls and seeing the high-tier loot is... I don't know if it's overpowered, but that's her best ability that she has. It might be a passive ability, so what? It is the best ability she has out of all of them. Being able to go into a loot area and just being able to communicate with all of your teammates and be like, okay, you got purple in this building, yellow over there, just scatter out and find the loot that you need. And then if you go into the next area, you have your black market, boom, set it up and just quick loot everything, you know? So Loba is awesome because that's balanced, because when it comes down to in-game stuff, like that little teleportation thing she throws is not like, it doesn't go very far. It does get you out of some situations, but when you come out of that thing, you're still very vulnerable. Like she has to do like this like animation coming out of it, and that just and then you're also very turned around. Yeah. When you come out of it, for me at least, I got like disoriented. Like, okay, like I have to figure out where I'm at. Where did I just come out at? And then, so maybe it's just I have to get good at playing as her.
Get good, bro. Get
good. I'm not by any means a pro at Apex. but
I enjoy playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I think it's very balanced. I think this is the best season update that Apex has done. And there was no need to add an extra weapon, and they didn't. I think they kept everything fine. I was a little disappointed with the Mastiff. I think the Mastiff, it needs a buff. It needs to come back to being somewhat of a good option to choose, because I don't like the Mastiff unless if you're point blank. It's almost pointless unless if you're like right in the... yeah.
4 shots.
Yeah, dude, I took the Mastiff and I headshot, like all headshots from just a little bit of from where I'm at to the freaking computer screen. Like nothing was happening. 4 shots almost, it seemed like all of them were headshots, and it didn't do anything. I was like, God, this sucks.
Well, I do know they released the server side fix for some of the hits.
Yeah.
Apparently there was some people having complaints about hits not registering. But apparently they did a server-side patch where it's supposed to have fixed some of those things. So
okay,
maybe that will fix the Mastiff
Maybe
thing.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then what else? There's this story I needed to tell you. The loot boxes, or the death boxes. When you go up to loot them in the looting order and the system that they have. For me, it might be just something I need to get used to, but I think it's great for PC. Like, you can imagine that would be super quick to get to on PC with the mouse, but with the thumbstick, it was hard. Like the reticle that you have is about the same size, or if not bigger almost, than the selection. So like you'll have your different selections that you can get, and then the reticle is like hovered over, and I'm like trying to select it, and it just didn't seem like it was, I don't know, it was just hard to get used to. And then they have their weapons at the top, which threw me off completely. I was in the final 2 or final 3, and I needed to grab shields off of one of the dead guys, one of the guys I just killed. Grab the shields, replenish mine, and then finish this guy off. I would have been fine. I go into the death box, and I'm like, I swipe down to go where I saw it, and I hit the select button or the A button, and I didn't pick it up. I completely missed it because it was hard to see in a pinch. Like, you can't quickly get to where you want to go. And I picked up something.
Maybe you just suck.
And then maybe I just suck. And maybe I just dropped the ball. You know what I mean? That could be it. Maybe I just was super, like, you had those jitters, man. You in the final, and I just completely missed it. But for me, it was a little difficult to navigate. And yeah, so other than that, man, the best season update I think Apex has released. Yeah, and Kings Canyon, so good. It's densely populated with like more interesting areas to go to. So like being able to, there's really no place on the map that I don't want to go now. You know what I mean? And there's also no place on the map that I need to get. Skulltown, you know what I mean? All the time. Skulltown! So now it's like, okay, so you have this really cool area they added over in Skulltown, but they also have this really cool area over by Airbase.
Relay, right?
Yeah, where Relay used to be. And even that area that used to be just a field of dinosaur dung or whatever that crap, the stuff that was, just a bunch of craters and stuff.
Oh.
Even that area has been improved. It looks like they're building, I don't know, maybe a harvester there. So maybe in the next season update we'll see like a full-on World's Edge harvester sitting in that area. But even that area has something cool now. So there's something to do in almost every area of the map except for that area between the airport or airbase, I think it's called airport, and Dam. There's a pretty big open area of nothing. Yeah. I think that's the only area that they can improve on a little bit, but other than that, man,
there's lots of supply crates out that way.
True, that's true. So I mean, yeah, it does. It makes for really cool combat scenarios. I've always loved Kings Canyon better than World's Edge. So, and I think this actually just enhances it even further.
Makes it better.
Yeah, they changed the time of day too. I think it's like sunset or sunrise. I'm not sure, but what they did makes this map look super pretty. You know what I mean? And I think there might be more greenery than there was before. Greenery. There might be some more foliage going on somewhere. Yeah, but yeah, it looks really good.
Say? I had it, but I lost it. I don't know what
I said. I said foliage, and that got you.
Oh man, that greenery, baby, just does it for me. It does seem like the rounds don't last as long either. It seems like you see squads just get knocked off like pretty darn quick.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's more people trying to land in the same area just because it's the new spots or what, but like it just seems like the games kind of just roll on by.
It does. It could be. I haven't checked the actual like time of each match that I've played. Like maybe it is going faster, or it also could be that you're just kind of taking in more sights and it's more interesting rather than running across a field for at least a minute just running and doing nothing. Whereas now you're running and you got like so much to take in and it all just feels faster rather than slower. I don't know. I'm still waiting
Maybe it's the greenery.
Maybe it's the greenery, dude. Oh, I'm waiting for them to open up that area where the canyon, like when you're flying in and they have that river going in, the way up high elevation. They had that little, it's a yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like you can't jump there.
Yeah.
Out of bounds. Yeah.
I know what you're
I'm ready for them to open up that area and make the map a little bit bigger. Even just like blow up that canyon. That'd be interesting. Just like blow up the canyon and then.
What about the dinosaurs?
The dinosaurs are gone.
They're kind of just hanging out in the water, bro. Like,
yeah,
I miss my dinosaurs.
Yeah, what do I do now, man? I guess we made it out of there.
Guess we're not
Yeah.
Flintstones anymore.
Yeah, they both like sitting out there in the water, just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you want to do? Oh, what do you want to do? We were in
They're
the
just fucking
action.
drinking
They're
water.
just drinking water now. Oh, that is to end it. I guess to end it with Apex. That is one game that I can't wait to see optimized for next gen. Cause you imagine.
Like out of the free to play games, I feel like that is one of the better ones for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely,
And,
definitely.
and I've kind of been a proponent of not paying money for games, but like they kind of got me hooked where I do the battle pass every season at this point,
Yeah, yeah, I
just
contribute.
because I like what they do. Like
Mm-hmm.
usually I kind of took a break at the end of once I finished the battle pass on season 4, but once season 5 came out, I'm like, I really want to play this game. Like there's something about Apex that like makes it really good. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but
Mm-hmm.
like to me it's the best battle royal. Uh, After that it'd probably be Warzone.
Yeah,
I personally think Warzone is only okay. I don't think it's that great
the
just because it's kind of blah.
the
Like
awareness is a little
there's nothing
off.
really
Yeah,
right. There's nothing really exciting about Warzone. I
they took
think
out the
as
helicopters
far
too.
as
Like
like
that's what separated. I like that, but
they
they
put it back in now.
they did okay. Good, good.
Yeah. Uh, I feel like Apex has the best like when you first get off the ship or whatever you're flying on.
Yeah,
Like I feel like that's the best where you can kind of glide to pretty much anywhere.
it's so
Uh,
buttery smooth and seamless.
right.
I
It's
love it.
like Respawn is like probably one of the best first person shooter developers out there.
Hmm.
Just from
I'd agree.
the way the game plays, just what they do is phenomenal. Like Titanfall 2 was such an unsung title. Like it didn't get the that's another one that didn't get, the attention that it deserved.
No, that came out. That
But
came out at the wrong time. A lot of really big title. I think it was Battlefield One and Modern. No, not Modern Warfare. Black Ops. I think was out coming out. There was two, like a
was it
Call of
World
Duty.
was it the World War II one?
I'm not sure. It was a big Call of Duty title, and then it was Battlefield One, and then
Can
Titanfall.
we really
I
say
was just like, oh my god,
big Call of Duty title? Like every Call of Duty
is a
titles.
big title. Yeah. So it's yeah. I mean,
And I
yeah,
feel like yeah.
yeah.
And I want to say I am disappointed that I didn't get to play Apex with Alana last night. Uh, I feel like I was gypped out of my chance to play with my girl.
Yeah, I'll be sure to tell
If,
her.
yeah, Alana, if you're watching, like,
Hmm.
I just want to play some Apex with you, No big deal. Like, that's it.
I just want to play Apex with you, man. Come on. All right, so
I'm gonna message her this podcast so she can watch it.
yeah, yeah, message her this and say how much we really want to play with her, or you do. I mean, I've already met her
Yeah,
and taken a
right.
picture with her, but
Shut up.
it's a different story. Yeah, so I mean, like other than that, man, to wrap this one up, you want to play a quick game, a quick round of 20 questions.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go.
I gotta do this solo.
No, I was thinking we'd just do a quick round, so which means I'll go and then you go. All right?
Wait, hold on.
What's up? No, I mean like
Explain this.
no, 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 no. Yeah, I'm gonna ask myself questions. No, no, no.
Yeah.
I meant like you go, you gotta guess mine, and then I'll guess yours. Type thing. So like after this round, after you guess what I got, I'm gonna guess what you got. Cool.
Wait, I don't even know what you're talking about. What is 21 questions?
20 questions, bro. This is where I think of something, and you gotta ask questions and find out what I'm thinking. Yes or no questions.
Okay. All right, so I just got sorry.
Yeah, like what we
I
did last
literally
week.
have not played this game like forever. So okay.
Let's-
No, I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, here we go. Ready? I'm going to think of a video game, and you have to tell me what I'm thinking about. Hold on, let me think of it real quick. Let's see. You know what? Sure. I'm gonna go. I'll go with this one. Go ahead.
Let's see. Uh, is it a shooter?
It is not.
Is it a first party title?
Yes.
Is it on PlayStation?
It is not. No.
Ooh.
Hmm.
So it on Xbox?
No. What is that, 4? Or is that 4 questions, I think?
Oh.
I haven't been keeping track. Oops.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 4 questions.
So that means it's a Nintendo title.
Hmm.
Uh, um, is it a Mario game?
It is not. No.
Oh.
Actually, that would
Is it
probably
a
have been
Zelda game?
harder. No.
Uh, is it a Nintendo game?
Yes. Yes. Like, are you meaning? Did
And
you
it's
mean
a
like? Is it like published? What? Because I already said that it was. It was an. Did I already say that? No. No. Okay.
no.
It's Nintendo. Yeah. It's yes. Yeah. That's 7. That's a. Had to make sure that we're talking about a Nintendo game. I see. This isn't an Atari game. It's true. It's a good. That was a good.
Uh,
Good question.
is there a version out on the Nintendo Switch?
Oh, is there a version out on the Nintendo Switch?
Oh boy, did I stump the host?
I know.
I think I just win just by stumping you.
I feel like you should. I don't.
If you can't answer my question, then like,
I don't know. No. I no. It's not. Wait. Well, what was the question? What was the
is
question
there a Nintendo Switch version?
of this game in particular?
Yeah.
No. 8. That was tough. I have to. I don't know. I feel like I have to do more research. Uh,
Let's see. Did it come out on the Nintendo Wii?
it did not. No, that's 9.
Did it come out on the Super Nintendo?
No. Oh no, no. That's 10. That's 10.
Did it come out on the Nintendo Entertainment System?
No.
Did
That's
it come out on
11.
GameCube?
No, that's 12.
Is it even a Nintendo title? It's a Nintendo title, but it didn't come out on any console. This is blasphemous.
You're gonna be like, oh, okay, I get it. You're gonna definitely know. Like, well, you're gonna know when you know for sure.
Am I gonna be mad at myself for not getting
Yes,
it?
yes, you're gonna. Well, this is a game that I'm trying to. I choose games that I know that you're like you definitely should know. You know, and you've probably played it. You've maybe. I don't know your life though. I don't know about you. I don't know your life. So
Uh,
yeah, you're on
what the
12.
hell else? What the hell else did it come out on if it didn't come out on anything?
You're you're missing something, and you know what you're gonna be like. Oh, come on. So it's a Nintendo. It's a Nintendo game. It's a first party game. And
Yeah, it didn't come out on Nintendo or the SNES or the Wii U, Wii, or the Switch
or the
or the
GameCube.
GameCube. Did it come out on the Game Boy?
Yes, that's 8. Or no, I'm sorry. That's 13.
And it's a specific game.
Yeah, you have to get the specific game.
Is it a Pokemon game?
It is a Pokemon game. That's 14.
So on the Game Boy, there was two versions, I believe. There was a red and a blue.
That's not a
Is
question.
it a is it a red game?
It is not a red game. That's
Is it a
that,
blue game?
that's 15. Is it a blue game? It is not a blue game. It's,
What the fuck?
that's 16. I think, right? Did I say?
And
Oh
it
God,
came out on the Game Boy.
I don't even know where I'm at on the questions. That's 16, I think. I'm gonna
Sure,
watch
that's
this.
fine.
I'm gonna watch this back and be like, really, Danny, come on, to mess up the count.
Is it a yellow one? Is it a yellow Pokemon game? There was a yellow one, right?
Yes, it is a yellow Pokemon game.
So is it Pokemon Yellow? Is that
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
called?
that's it. So you got it on 17. It's Pokemon Yellow. What is this game?
It didn't come out on anything.
Pokemon Yellow. All right, so we
Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
we got there. After knowing what it is, now you're just like, oh, easy, right? Pokemon Yellow.
Well, that
It
you're
was,
balls deep in yellow, so
yeah, yeah. It wasn't anything that was like, I don't know, elusive. So
right.
your turn, but you got to pick something that you would think, like, I mean, you can pick anything, but don't pick anything like super obscure, like freaking, I don't know, something like a Japan game that nobody's heard of.
I don't even know. I
don't
haven't
know.
heard of it either.
I could just see you researching Kazakazaya.
All right, so give me 1 second.
Tsushima. Ghost.
I think I'm gonna.
Tsushima.
I think I'm gonna.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay. Is this
Okay.
game? Is it pre PS3, Xbox 360, that era? Is it before that era?
Yes.
It is. Okay. So it's like PS2 or earlier. All right. So it's retro. Is it a first party game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You would say it's a first party game? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Is it a would you say this game is a shooter? Like it does it have shooting in it?
That is a. I can't remember. No, no, I don't think it does. I no,
Okay, so it's
no.
definitely not like considered a shooter. It may somewhere.
Right. It's not.
Okay.
There may be bits of shooting stuff at things, but
Okay.
not. It's not considered a shooter.
All right. All right. So, is it a side scroller?
No.
It's not a side scroller. Okay. So your hesitation makes me think that it's maybe like a top down. It's definitely not 3D because if it was a 3D game you would have been like, "Oh no." But so the hesitation makes me
Maybe I'm just trying to trick you
maybe
with the way
you
I'm answering my
are.
question.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on.
So
How many questions was that? Three?
I'm keeping track. It's 4 right now. Um all right. All right, so we got it's a first party game. It's before the so like PS2 or back. It's probably a side scroller, or it's not a side scroller, but it's probably 2D. And then also, it's not considered a shooter. Is it a platformer, like a platformer game?
Uh, I believe there's elements of platforming in this game. Yes.
Okay,
I wouldn't consider it a platformer, but there's elements of it.
elements of platforming in this game. That's 5. Oh my god, what is this? Okay, so let's get to some good questions. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Is it a Nintendo game?
Yeah, I'm keeping it in the family. What can I say?
All right. So it's a Nintendo. Okay, we're at Nintendo. I think I just need to figure out what console this is on. It's probably NES or SNES, considering that it's most likely not 3D because of your hesitation. A lot is riding on that little pause that you had. All right. Okay. Got platforming elements. Maybe shooting. Probably not. It's a Nintendo game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Is this a like a critically acclaimed game, like something very popular?
I wouldn't say popular.
Okay.
Like it's a heard of game, but it's not a popular game.
Okay, so it's definitely not. It's not like a Mario, Pokemon, or Zelda. It's it's heard of. Oh my god. You got. I think you stumped me, dude. This is crazy. I chose Pokemon Yellow for you. I feel like you gave me like something. All right.
I don't.
Uh,
Pokemon Yellow was kind of off the wall.
it
Like
was. I was.
thinking about Game Boys.
All right. Oh, I guess is it handheld?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. So we got a home console. That's good. I wanted to eliminate that. Is it? Would you consider this game very like an action game? Like it's definitely got action in it.
Uh, Slight action, not
Slight.
like over the top action, but it's got action involved in it.
Okay. Let's see. So that's 9. Um,
Still got plenty of
I
time.
know. Is it so it is considered first party. Um, I think I probably just need to get it out of the way. Is it a Nintendo property? Like a Nintendo developed by Nintendo property or published by
Yep.
Nintendo? Okay, it is. Okay. All
All the above.
right, all right. So it's published and developed by Nintendo. So we got that. That's good. That's good. So it is a Nintendo game. Let's see. It's not 2D. It's not a side scroller, so it's not Kirby. Uh,
Not Kirby.
it's not Kirby. I was gonna ask you, do you suck things, but So I'm at 10. I'm at 10.
Depends on my mood.
Oh God. Okay, so what is this game? Is it on the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Nope.
Okay, so Super Nintendo seems like we're in the Super Nintendo territory here.
Possibly, maybe.
Possibly. Uh, what did you say about action? You said it has action
Slight,
element.
slight. It
Slight,
has action elements.
slight action element. Okay.
Mhm.
What is it a? You say it might have shooting in it. It doesn't. It's not F-Zero. Uh, is it a racing game?
Nope.
No. Okay, that's 11. Uh, and it's not like critically acclaimed. So it's what the heck? What does Nintendo have that isn't like critically acclaimed? Dude, I think you got me, man. Is it on the Super Nintendo?
Nope.
Oh man, okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so it's N64 because it's N64. It's not handheld. It's before the PS2 era. It's N64. Oh, what? 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 What is this?
You can do it,
I'm at
Danny.
12. All right. Is the main character human?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not. Okay, so it's a human. Is the main character male?
Yep.
Okay. Um, I'm at 14. Um, dude, what is this, man? I'd be really curious if anybody watching this has gotten the answer before I did. I feel like I've asked some pretty good questions. I think I narrowed it.
I mean, you're getting there.
I'm
Yeah.
getting there.
But can you do it in as many questions as you got left?
I got 6 questions left, and I do not think I'm going to be able to do it. I got to think of the right questions to ask. It's on the N64. I know that. I don't need to ask that question. Um, God, I got to think of a good N64 games. Like, I got to think of N64 games. Oh man, what is this game? If it's not action, it's got action elements. It's not a side scroller. Uh, I didn't ask if it was 3D. Did I? I asked if it was a side
Nope.
scroll and then just
You did
assumed.
not ask if it
From your
was.
hesitation, I just assumed, but I think I need to waste a guess and ask, is this game 3D?
Yeah.
So it's 3D. I guess I kind of wasted a question. Is it third person?
Yeah.
What was the hesitation, Steven? What was the hesitation? You threw me off so bad. Okay, so it's a 3D
It's got you.
third person. Um, it's. Oh nope, that's not it. That's on GameCube. Is it 3D camera behind made by
How many questions are
Nintendo?
you at now?
It's not 15, man. That was 15. So I got 5 left. Oh god. Okay, so it's third person behind the back. Dude, okay. And it's a human character. It's a human male character. It's not that popular. And it's made by Nintendo. What is this, dude? What is this? Is it
You get
Do
you giving up?
no, not giving up. I will go until 20. Do you use weapons?
I mean, I guess you could call them weapons. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In the realm of the game, they're considered weapons.
Right, definitely. That's very helpful. It is. It's okay. So it's not swords. It's not guns. It's a very Nintendo game, obviously. Uh, what is this, dude? Are you giving me a clue? Is that a clue? Oh, okay. Is it, all
I'm
right.
just adding to the
So
con
just
the
adding to
podcast.
this, yeah. Oh man, guys, I am sorry. I don't know. All right, so I got 5 questions left, right? So let's start this. Let's start getting them out of here. Let's do this. Is it? It doesn't have weapons. Some platforming elements. I am stumped on this, dude. I am really stumped on this one.
I didn't think it was gonna be this hard, honestly.
Really? I'm gonna kick myself for not knowing it. I'm.
Probably, yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Is it a Mario game?
It's not a Mario game. Hmm. Hmm.
Is it?
Hmm.
He little side eye there. I don't know what that means, but I said, is it a Mario game? It's not a Mario game. You had to look into the left cortex of your brain. No. uh, is it? Did it have a like a special cartridge? Like did it have like a colored cartridge? No.
No.
I'm just asking some weird questions now. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to this one. It is a Nintendo property. I'm gonna be. Oh nope! God dang it! It wasn't. It's so. If it was Donkey Kong Country, then it would be freaking yellow. So,
Right,
It's not
exactly.
Donkey Kong Country. I feel like it could have been.
And you said it was you asked if it was a human, right?
That's true. That's true. As a human male.
Donkeys are not humans.
It's a gorilla. They're kind of human.
I didn't say donkey. Why did I say donkey?
Donkeys aren't human, bro.
Could you
Donkeys
imagine if
aren't
it was
gorillas
an actual
either.
donkey?
Yeah. Oh, it's getting late. Oh man, dude. Oh, I don't know the answer to this. I have two questions left, and I am just completely out of it. I have no idea. If somebody got this before I did in the just say it in the comments. Tell me that you got this, and don't lie. Don't say it after you watch the video. I'm gonna be mad. Why am I drawing blanks on this one? They considered weapons in the game, in the game's world. It's considered weapons. God, what is this? Is it cartoony? Or is it trying to go for a realistic approach?
Uh, it's cartoony.
It's cartoony. That sounds Nintendo-like. I have one question left. I don't know where to go with this. Oh,
Make it
God.
a good one, Downey.
I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Is it, what is this game, Steven? Let's just get the answer. Let's just go. Is it, freaking a launch title for the N64? Was it a launch title?
No.
Okay, that's cool. Steven, I would make a guess, but it would be completely wrong. And honestly, I don't have anything in the brains right now telling me to say, hey, try that one out. I don't. It's a Nintendo property. It's freaking a third person, probably adventure game because there's light action, there's some weird weapons. It's probably a third person adventure game from Nintendo that nobody really cared about. Yeah, what is it, Steven?
Luigi's Mansion.
No, that's not even. Oh, Steven.
What? It's a third-person-ish game.
But it's not on the N64.
That's where your hung up was. You didn't ask me if it was on the N64.
Uh,
You assumed that because of
Wait a second,
the
though.
GameCube was pre Xbox 360.
Did I say pre PS3?
You said pre 3 P 3 pre 3 P
did I say that, or did I say?
you said pre PS3 and Xbox 360, which it was.
Oh, I thought I said.
So you just
PS2.
completely blanked out the GameCube because the GameCube was out with the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2.
Oh god, I got hung up. I thought I said pre PS2 era. For some reason, that's where I went. Oh, that sucks,
Yep.
dude. That really sucks. Like for some reason, I was like, it was pre PS2. Like from then on, I was just stuck on like, okay.
You confused yourself,
I
Danny.
I beat myself on this one. Dude, that was good though. That was a really good one. I messed up thinking that I said before PS2, but I said PS3. I know I did. I said specifically before PSP up PSP to PS to PS to
Xbox 360, Danny.
I did. I'm like thinking back on it now. I said that. Well, that's a loss for me. That's a loss for me. I'll take it.
I was just keep letting you go with the N64.
You were, man. I was like, yeah, this is definitely before PS2 then. Idiot.
And really, the Luigi's Mansion's kind of like not an extremely popular title. Like,
No, that was good. It wasn't like critically acclaimed or anything. Yeah, it's good. It wasn't a Mario game like Side Eye. I get it now. I get it now. Oh man, yeah. People who watch this are gonna be like, dude, yeah, he said PS3. Or you said PS3.
Nope.
Oops. Wow. What a terrible terrible way to open up my answering. All right, that was a good one, Steven. Thank you so much for joining
I
me.
pulled Pokemon Yellow out of my ass. Like,
I know. I feel like, yeah, Pokemon Yellow. Once you got it, once you said, "Is it a Game Boy game?" I was like, "This is going to go easy." It's a Nintendo property. It's on the Game Boy. What is it? You know what I mean? Wow,
like
dude.
there's only so many like popular like Game Boy titles that actually
Yeah.
came out that more people know about.
All right, so I'm gonna make them a little more difficult next round. Even though you stumped me, I feel like I stumped myself too. Like Luigi's Mansion is
I
like
feel like you beat yourself more than
I
anything.
beat myself on that one. But I think what we're gonna do is for the future ones, we're gonna get a little more challenging, and we're gonna keep it from obscurity, but we'll get a little more challenging, get a little more challenging with it. I have one in mind
I
already.
honestly feel like Pokemon Yellow was somewhat challenging. Like,
Yeah,
I don't feel like a lot of people would have got that one.
I always like to share this around with people that I know and just be like, hey, when did you get it? And see what people say. All right, Steven, that was a good one, dude. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. That was a good podcast, I think. We definitely just had a good gaming conversation. Next week, we're gonna bring out our top five. We're gonna start our top five. I loved your idea of the console designs. I think we're gonna do that one, and we'll save Assassin's Creed for later on, maybe when the game releases, like near
I
release
think
date.
closer to Valhalla would probably be good.
Yeah, closer to release date of Valhalla, or even just like play Valhalla first, and then just a definitive ranking would be good. All right, so we're gonna do next week a top five of our favorite video game console designs. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Game Night.